I'm not going to shoot video for the rest of these, simply because I've already gone over how to lay them down and how to cut them out, how to paint them, so on and so forth. I may go into seeing you paint them, because I'm going to do a two-tone black on the upper edges of the words and red in the middle. Same thing, I'm going to do different colors on the actual sword itself. So I may paint one side on camera, that way you can see the differences on how that's going to be painted. Other than that, I'm just going to continue on and do this off camera. Already the video is, I got about an hour shot up right now. Like I said in the description of the video, it's long. It's going to be long. I don't want to skip any steps, and that is for your benefit. You know, we have some video people out there that'll show you, you know, this is how you do it. Then they do it. They don't show you everything. Therefore, here I am. I'm here to help. I want to make sure that everybody sees every aspect of how to apply your mask, how to peel it off, how to do your designs. I really didn't go over too much on my designs, other than I did get the images that I wanted off of the internet. I pasted them together on a piece of software that I have that's called Adobe Photo Deluxe. It came with my printer. It's nothing spectacular, but apparently it does work for me. Like I said, what I do is I measure out a piece of the car. I don't have my ruler here with me, but what I'll do is I'll measure out this portion of the car, how wide it is, and what height it has. Same thing I did with my dragon, and the same thing I'll do on the other side. Anytime I'm going to place any kind of logo anywhere, I'll measure that area, and I will create a new picture that I'm working on in that size, and then adjust everything to the size of the canvas that I've committed my computer to do. That way, when I do come to do this, I will have it all laid out. Another thing, like I said, my lettering is backwards. If you flip it around, you will see that it is written correctly. That way, as it goes on the car, it's written correctly. So you'll be able to see it as I cut it out. Okay? Dragon Slayer. Boy, I got to make sure I look at that. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. I had it upside down. Dragon Slayer. So that way when I have it on my car, of course, like I said, this one is, the sword's painting backwards, pointing backwards. I don't want that, so I've created this one for this car, this side. It's the same exact sword, same exact wording. I've just, I'm going to paste it on here. That way when I trace it from the back and cut out the stencil of it, it will be written in plain forward-looking letters. It won't be backwards. Same thing I did with this one. You'll notice that it does say Dragon Slayer. Hopefully you'll be able to see that on camera. So the sword is pointing this way, Dragon is on this side, Slayer is on the bottom. So when I put it up to the car here and trace it out, it will be pointing in the same direction. I'm pointing forward. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently I can't speak. I had to dub that out a little bit. That way I have it pointing the way I want it to be. Other than that, once I get through with all this, well, then I will continue to paint the entire body. I'll mask off my windows. I like my windows to be clear, not actually clear, but with the window tint. Other than that, I'll continue to start my work on getting these sides ready. I'll probably do one at a time, simply because it takes a little time to cut these out. The reason that I messed up the first paint job on this particular dragon head was because another thing too, I left the Parma mask sitting a little too long. I waited about 3 days before I started painting again. I just didn't have the time. I do have a full-time job that I work, and just didn't have the time. I do have other things that I need to do. but I left it sitting too long. I rushed the paint job. The paint started sticking to itself as I was peeling it up. For instance, the black here was coming up and leaving just the kryptonite gold underneath it, and it was peeling up with it. I didn't let it dry long enough, and the reason being is because I had like 3 coats of paint on there, and I didn't give it enough time to dry. Okay, so other than that, we will continue after I start putting on my other pieces. So we'll be back. Okay, guys, we're back outside. I've got the other logo on the side here. I've already cut it all out. I haven't removed all of it yet because I'm not going to paint all of it yet. I am outside again, like I said. It's a pretty muggy day. Sorry about the lighting if the lighting isn't all that great. What I've decided to do, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to try to make the sword have some points. Everybody's familiar when you look at a knife or a sword or something, you've got a kind of a dull looking metal, and then where the blades have been sharpened off, they're a little brighter and shinier. Earlier I had mentioned that I wanted to scratch a line and give like a black etch there so it would show the distinction between the two. What I've come up with is my window tint. So I'm going to spray my window tint. I've cut out some areas where it's going to get the window tint, mainly on the main body of the sword. Everything that I've left is just the sharpened edge of the sword. That's not going to get the window tint. That's just going to get the pure silver across it. It's a little chilly out today, not too cold, probably say in the mid-60s, mid to low 60s. So I didn't bring all my paint out, so I will be editing this back and forth so I can go in and get my paint. Like I said, you want to use a warm can of paint. Shake it up real good. So I'm going to give my first little light coat here. Just like so, nothing too much. Like I said, I just want to lay down a light coat so it'll stick and adhere to the Lexan. Then I'm going to help it dry a little bit. Not too much, just enough to get it a little tacky, so it'll accept the next coat of paint. I'm just going to give it 2 coats. I don't really want it that dark, but I'm going to give it 2 coats so that way I'm sure that it does have an even coat. So, second coat. That's all I'm going to do. I just wanted to make sure that it did get full coverage. And we'll let it dry. So now that I have my second coat on, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Let it get a little tacky, pretty good, nice and dry, not too tacky. Just so my silver will adhere to the top of it. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little break and remove all the portions of it that I had masked off for the bright silver edge of the sword. So we'll break for that. Okay, so we're back. Now I'm going to apply my silver and start again. Nice light coat. And dry it once again. Okay, so we're back outside. Give it a nice little coat. And let that dry a little bit. And give it a nice little second coat. think that ought to be pretty good. Looks like it's got good coverage. Let that dry. Then I'll continue to peel off the rest of the mask for my next color. I'm going to let this dry for a pretty good little while. I'm going to get it tacky, just that way no little dust particles will stick to it while it's sitting there drying. So we'll come back. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, what I've done so far. I don't know if you'll actually be able to catch that on camera, the way the sword is laid out. It looks like you can. Should be able to see how all the pieces are. And then next we're probably going to end up going, I don't know, we'll see what I peel off here and see what color we're going to lay on next. I'm probably going to end up doing the hilt, which is the knuckles to the dragon, and the little claws. I'm going to do those in gold, and I went with gold on the handle also. The claws are going to be the same color as the dragon on the front, and the hilt, the very end of it, is going to be the same color, which is that titanium green, titanium gold. So we'll see how that comes out, and we will be back. Okay, so I went inside, began to peel off the little claw area, which was this little area here, if you can see it. Let's see, right in here. Don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's no light behind it. I was going to peel that piece off and this piece off here, but as I was peeling it off, the paint had adhered to all the masking and everything, and lo and behold, it peeled off all my masking. Everything except for the painted area that I already had painted. It did leave a few spots here and there, but of course, since it did peel some of it off, I had to peel all of it off. But don't worry, I'm not going to strip it down. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to remask all of this, okay, and then recut it all out and go from there. So I just wanted to show y'all my little foobar and what happened. Stuff like that happens. Just make sure, well, I will make sure that next time what I will do is make sure I cut around and release the paint from the area that I'm trying to remove. Other than that, so we'll be back. The weather hopefully will be a little better next time I come outside. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, mask it off again, let it dry, and then I'll be back tomorrow sometime and start again where we left off. Like I said, I am going to leave the silver there. I've already done it. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to go through the whole process of stripping it all out and doing all that again. I'm just going to try to repair what I have here, and we'll see how that comes out. Okay guys, we're back again. I've remasked my area. What I've done here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the top portion of the word dragon and slayer. I'm going to do those first with the black. It's going to have a red inlay on the middle portion of those letters. As you can see, the silver is still there. I just went over it again with the mask, and let's get ready to paint. I've got this little piece of paper that I'm going to use. The reason I'm wearing gloves also is because I don't want to get my fingers all painted up. I'm going to be going somewhere here in a little bit. I'm just going to give it a light coat. That's it. I'm going to give the other one a light coat. And that's it. I'm not going to overspray it or anything. I'm just going to give it a nice light coat, just so we can see some black in the lettering. The reason that I had the piece of paper is so that way I don't have that run into that issue again where I'm trying to peel off this masking from this particular area right in here. That way I don't have that same issue with that I had last time, where the paint, when I started peeling, getting ready to paint these, the mask came off with it. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and I'm going to peel out the center, and then I'm going to do the red, and we'll see how that comes out.